Hey there, I'm Sarah Ives and I invite you to my home. I work from home. I've got a home office. Yes, it's amazing, and I can't wait for you to do that too if you're not already. So welcome here today. What we're going to do is talk about how we can build you a coaching funnel, or actually I'm going to give you the tools to actually build your own coaching funnel, one that's going to give your potential clients an easy, seamless way to book right into your calendar while you're sleeping, while you're exercising, whatever you do, and day and night. Your clients can book with you any time of the day. Okay, so let's start off with step one. This is step one in your funnel, is you need a freebie or a lead magnet, depending on who you've learned your stuff from. There's different phrases, but essentially you want to do content marketing. You want something at the top of your funnel that is free, that will draw people into your funnel. Not only are you going to build your email list with them with this, I talk to a lot of people who say to me, nah, emails on the way out, only 20% of people open your emails, which, that's true. But here's the thing, when you're doing Facebook ads, email lists are so important because you can actually upload a custom audience of your email list. So even if they're not going to open your email, say only 20% of your email list is, opening, which is considered normal, you're going to take those people, put them into your ads manager, and you're going to retarget them with ads. So email list building is important for so many reasons. It's the primary thing that you should be doing with your business, and it has multiple purposes. Not only can you email people, you can target them with ads. Okay, so don't give up on your email list. Absolutely not. Another thing, when you're choosing a freebie, so people often say to me, okay, how do I know what is going to be a good freebie? Well, sit down with a piece of paper and a pen, or a computer and an Excel sheet, whatever you prefer. Write down the top 10 questions that your clients ask you. So those clients that you really want to work with, who are they? And what are those main questions that they ask you? So when you work with someone, what do you cover in those first few sessions together? So I'm guessing there are going to be some core questions. Say you're a relationship coach. People are probably going to say to you, how do I meet people? What do I say on a first date? Where's the best place to go on a first date? I'm just thinking back to my single days, trying to remember what those core low-level questions, that low-hanging fruit that people were always asking you about. Those are the questions that you're going to draw people in with. And you're going to take those questions and put them into the form of a freebie or a lead magnet. Something that works well is a checklist, a blueprint, something that is short and consumable. A common mistake with freebies is that people will put together a really long tome of 50 pages, and ultimately the people that are downloading it never get to consume it because it's so overwhelming, even if they have the best of intentions. And then ultimately they don't get to see how awesome you are as a coach or a consultant, whatever you're doing. So because of that, we want to make sure that your freebie is short and consumable. There are a few exceptions. I have a few coaches that I'm working with right now, two in particular, that do have a free book at the top of their funnel, and that does work very well in some cases. It kind of depends on how compelling that book is. So I'll let you think about that, but I wanted to give you that information so you can make those decisions wisely. Now, one more thing, if you were just starting out, at the very beginning, you might say, well, I don't really even know what those key questions are. So here's a little hack. Go into Facebook groups, put things, go into books on Amazon. You can actually read the reviews there. You can go into a site called Quora, Quora, I believe. Now, these are websites where people just go in and randomly post questions. The thing that's nice about Facebook groups is that you can actually join Facebook groups with your target market and just watch what the questions are that people are asking. Now, I'm not going to tell you to waste your time with sitting in that group all the time and answering questions and hope that clients come to you, because that's a really high intensive way to get clients. It's going to take a ton of time, frustration, and I'm going to show you a way today that you can actually get clients with advertising, which is what I strongly believe in, because it's the easiest way, and you always get your ROI back. If you're, advertising the right things. And as a worst case scenario, say you don't get your ROI back, you've learned some amazing things and you've gathered some amazing data about what people like and don't like. Okay, so your coaching funnel starts with your funnel. Look at this, I have my little whiteboard here. I'm gonna write, okay, coaching funnel. So it's gonna start with your freebie, bear with my handwriting, or lead magnet. Okay, so that freebie lead magnet is going to lead to the first Actually, that freebie is going to be what they download on the first page of your funnel. So really the very first thing is going to be that Facebook ad. So I'll just put in here, you're going to have the Facebook ad, or you could do an Instagram ad. Please do Instagram ads too. So we're going to put Facebook ad. You're going to go to the freebie lead magnet landing page, okay? So on your landing page, it's going to be simple. You're going to have an enticing title. It's going to be the same title as your freebie. Oh, look at that glare. You can't see that. But anyway, you're going to get the blueprint sent to your email. So you can look at it there. Okay, so the freebie lead magnet's going to have a really enticing headline. So make sure it's got a really enticing headline. You know what? If you don't know how to write headlines, I'm going to get you to go and Google BuzzFeed headlines. They're going to give you some great ideas on how to make headlines. Okay, so really enticing headline, plus for people to download your freebie, you've got to know why. Like, why the hell would I, sorry to swear, why would I download this freebie? Well, you want to say 3 to 4 points that are going to be super exciting for them because it's going to solve their problems that they're coming to you for. Okay, so you're going to put 3 to 4 bullets, with reasons for them to download them. So let's continue with our example of the romance coach. So you're going to say in your freebie, the top 10 ways to meet your dream man before New Year's. You're going to put in there, maybe one of those reasons would be actually where to meet men, what to say to men, how to appear more confident. So those could be your value-rich bullet points that you're going to put 4 points under the headline. Then you're going to have a big button that says download now, okay? You can even spruce up the language on your button as well. So it's super simple landing page. Below that you can put a little about you section with your picture. That's all you need for your first page. Super simple. Okay, so I'll put a 1 there. Can you see that? Good. Okay, second page. On the second page, this is where you're going to say thank you. Thank you for downloading. Your freebie is on the way right now, okay? So I'm going to say thank you. Okay, now 99.9% of people leave it at that, if they even have a thank you page. In fact, a lot of funnels that I look at don't even have a thank you page. They've got a little thing that pops up where it just says thanks, success, you downloaded it, or you opted in. Here's where you have to put the next step in your book a call funnel. You have to put thank you page, it's on your way to your inbox now, and then here's the critical part. This is worth a lot of money, trust me. You then want to say, do you want to dive deeper? Okay, so then it's going to be an invitation. Okay, so you've got your thank you page / invitation. It's going to go right under that part where you just said thank you, your freebie's on the way to your inbox, and then you're going to say, do you want to dive deeper? Guess what? I've got this group program, or I've got the ability to give you a free sales call. Don't call it a free sales call. Say it's a clarity call or a breakthrough session, some fancy language that's going to basically get them on the phone with you. You're going to tell them why. Why get on the phone with you? These days, people don't want to get on the phone with you. They're being targeted all the time with people saying, book a one-to-one call with me now. So what you're going to do on this page is you're going to say the common things that people who work with you struggle with. So say you're that romance coach, you might start to paint the picture. So I'm going to write that down because it's so important. Paint the picture. Look at that, my little pineapples are making that shaking sound. Something I didn't think about when I bought them. Okay, so you want to paint the picture of their struggles, okay? You want to identify with them with a little bit of language. So you say, do you want to dig deeper? Put a button right at the top that says book a call now. And underneath that, you want to start to talk about their struggles and say, if you're anything like I was, you're X, Y, and Z. You're struggling in these ways. Well, guess what? We can actually have a call where we do a real deep dive about that, and even if we don't decide to work together, you're going to walk away with a ton of value. Okay, so this is what you want to say on that thank you page. It's not really a thank you page, it's a thank you and invitation page to go to the next step for what you want your clients to do. Okay, so that's going to be that thank you invitation page. Again, 2 buttons at least, depending on how much copy you have. You don't need to make it that long. Again, the copywriting should really paint that picture of what they're struggling with and position you as somebody who's maybe even been there yourself and you've got a ton of solutions that will really help them. Okay, next step. Now you're going to drive them to the third page in your landing page, and what you're going to do is direct those buttons to go from one page to the next. Obviously, on the first lead magnet page, you're going to connect those buttons with your email providers so that when they click that opt-in button, they do get the thing delivered and their name is on your email list and they get the freebie delivered. They go to the thank you page, there's another button, and when they click this button, it's going to take you to a third page. There's 5 pages in total. The third page is going to be select a time. So this is something that you can, now to select a time, you have to get a software provider. Like a lot of people use Calendly. I know a lot of coaches love Calendly because you can use it as free. Unfortunately, you can try it. They recently added the capability of Calendly to redirect after people select a time. But in my experience, it's not reliable just yet because it's still so new. What are we in now? We're almost at the end of 2018. So I still highly recommend Schedule Once, okay? So you want to get a Schedule Once account. You want to embed the Schedule Once calendar in your third page. This is a simple page. It just says select a time. And what you can do is embed your booking calendar. Okay, so embed that booking calendar. Ta-da! Now what you can do is with Schedule Once or whatever provider you choose, and I've done tons of research. I would just go Schedule Once, select a time, embed the calendar in that page. It's a super simple page. What you will do is direct it so that when they finish filling it out, you can redirect the form to the 4th page in your funnel. Okay, so in this 4th page, you're going to have a questionnaire. This, my friends, is how you're going to weed out the people that you really maybe aren't ideal clients. They don't want to work with you. You're going to find out, do these people have those core criteria of people that you want to work with. So 4th page, what will we call this? This is basically the survey page. Okay, survey page. Now on this survey page, you're going to ask some questions that are going to qualify them essentially. And just as a note, you can on the thank you page invitation either position it as book a call with me for free, or you can tweak the language and say apply now for a free call. When you say apply now, fewer people will book, and that's normal. However, the leads may be higher quality. I like to start out with the least complicated funnel in the beginning. So I may suggest you start out with just a free book a call funnel, like book a free session funnel. If you're finding the lead quality is not really where you want it to be, then what you can do is change it to sort of a more apply now language. Okay, back to the 4th page, which is your survey page. You're gonna use a form provider. What are some good form providers? The one I'm using currently is Cognito. I was using Wufoo Forms, but Wufoo Forms is getting super expensive when there's other competitors that are doing it for cheaper, and why waste money? Even if you have money, you never just want to throw it away for no reason. So on that survey page, I would say use Cognito Forms. You can even use Google Forms if you want, and I believe it goes right into your Google account. So there's a few different form providers that you can consider that are really good. What you need to make sure is that the form can again redirect when they press that submit button. Okay, so you got your survey page, embed your questionnaire. Now people will often say to me, well, what do I want to say on the questionnaire? Well, you want to get their name, you want to get their email, you want to get their phone number, okay? Because a lot of people, they might leave their Skype name, like you could even put that there too. You could ask for their Skype name. But people don't always have Skype on their phone, right? Whereas people almost always answer a phone call. So that's why you need to have that phone number. And then you can get into the questions of, if you're helping business people, you could ask them for the website. Here are the 3 main criteria questions that I always say to ask. You're going to ask, where are you at right now? What's the dream life? Actually, wait, let's rephrase that. So you're going to say, what's the dream? And this can apply again to many industries. So what's the dream? You want to tweak the language for your industry. what's the dream, what's holding you back. Yeah, actually, I go back. I'm gonna add the one that I meant because I was right. So you're gonna go website. You're gonna go where are you at now? Okay, where are you at now? What's the dream? What's holding you back? These are gonna give you some material to work with on the call, right? That's what I do. And then, just as a note as well, I use this notebook called Funnel for my own agency, and it works fantastic. Okay, where you're at, what's the dream, what's holding you back, and then here is the crucial part to screen for leads that you actually want to spend a half an hour to an hour on the phone with. So you want to ask some questions about qualifying financially. So you want to say, are you ready to invest in your success? Again, tweak it for your language. Are you ready to invest in success? And then you can say, the second financial qualifying question, you can choose to use this or not. You can also say, if I were to ask you to spend this much money, I usually like to say half of what the actual package is. So say you charge $3,000 for a 3-month program of coaching, and it's $3,000. You're gonna say, if I were to ask you to spend $1,500, would you say, no way, that's too much, or yes, I'd love to, or you can actually pre-fill in these questions, or I maybe, it depends on the numbers. So those are kind of the 3 things that I like to talk about it in terms of the answers. And when you say, are they ready to invest, you can pre-make those answers to say, no, I'm broke and maxed out, or yes, I'm ready to invest in myself. So there's a few kind of subtle ways that you can ask that. But essentially what we're doing is we're doing the screening form before they get on call with you. Now you have a few options here. So when you're first starting out as a coach, when you're first starting to do sales calls, I highly recommend that you take all the calls you get, because it's going to give you experience. And even if the people say, I don't have the money on the form, what it's going to do is it's going to help you build your sales chops, essentially, because you can deal with objections like I can't afford it, all those different objections that people will give you. You're going to be able to practice on them, and you might be surprised. A lot of people will say I can't afford it, and then they'll come back to you and actually purchase. So when people are thinking about it in dollars and cents, they usually can't afford it. But once they get on the call with you and they hear how well you identify that with their struggles and how you've mapped out a great solution for them, that kind of changes, because at that time they're not just paying for anything. They're not just paying for a commodity. They're paying for an actual transformation in their life. Okay, so that's why at the beginning I do recommend that you do a lot of sales calls. Now, if you're further along in your business, you've worked with a lot of people and you don't want to kind of do that, you have a few solutions here. So what you can do is you can just be honest and write back to people and say, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and cancel the call, because unfortunately it does take a bit of a financial investment to get where you really want to be, and I just want to respect your time. And you can say it in a super friendly way, or you can, again, just take the call. If you're new to this, I highly recommend you do the experience of lots of sales calls. At the beginning, your sales call closing rate is not going to be as good as it's going to be after you've done it for 6 months, 7 months, even 12 months. Sales calls are definitely a knack, but it's something you can get better at with time. Okay, so my friends, how are you feeling about this funnel? So let's review. So we've got the first page, freebie lead magnet opt-in page. Second page goes to a thank you and sneaky invitation page. I don't know why I just did that. Then it's going to go to select a time where you embed your calendar. Fourth, it's going to go to a survey page. So they're going to fill out your survey. If you're using something like Cognito Forms, you're going to redirect there's a little place at the bottom. You can use Wufoo Forms too. Actually, I'm just recalling now, I think the reason why I don't use Google Forms is because I don't think that they can redirect after they finish the form. Anywho, you can look into that. So you're going to redirect to the very last page in your funnel. I'm going to do it nice and close to the 4th page because I know we're running out of space with the camera here. Okay, so the 5th page is going to be your thank you page. Okay. Thank you page is where, when they hit that page, then you know that it's what we call a complete registration. Okay, So for that page, I just like to say, thanks so much, you're all booked in, we'll be in touch. And I like to put a funny GIF or something like that. I think the one I have in my funnel now is like a dog with a pen, just something to make them laugh. Even better, you can actually record a video and say, thanks so much for booking with me. Here's what you can do in the meantime to prepare for the appointment, and get them familiar with their face. So it actually is a good idea to put in a video at all places of your funnel when you possibly can, maybe with the exception of page 1. The opt-in page, it's relatively simple. So that's the full funnel. You got your freebie, your thank you invitation page, select a time survey page, thank you page. Now let's talk about a few technical things. So when it comes to Facebook ads, because of course that's the way you're going to get people into your funnel. And it doesn't have to just be Facebook ads. You can post the URL for your first page anywhere and everywhere. Post it on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. Put it on your website if you have a website. This funnel, though, will most likely be more important than your website. I know for sure mine is for my agency and for many of my clients. So what you want to do when it comes to Facebook ads is you want to what we call pixel it. And there's a few different pixels that you can use. So for each ad account, it comes with a pixel. And in order to do ads efficiently and to make sure that the right type of people are coming to your funnel, you want to what we call pixel it. And there's a standard pixel, and then there's a few extra events that we can add actually. So for that freebie lead magnet page, you want to pixel that for what we call a page view. So just the basic pixel is a page view pixel. Copy and paste it into the tracking area. And then the thank you page is going to be a lead, because once they've opted into your lead magnet, they're what we call a lead. So what you can actually do is just add the lead event. It's super simple. You can just Google that. It's a little bit of code essentially, which is why it's something that I can't quite explain on the video. But basically just one tiny extra piece of code where you just add underneath the page view, instead of page view, you copy it and then paste right under lead. And then there you go. You put the lead pixel on the second page. Then when it comes down to the last page, on the thank you page, that's where you pixel it for the event complete registration. Okay, so Facebook will know as you're doing ads and over the first couple of months you're buying data essentially from Facebook, and it's going to know, it's going to learn who are the type of people that are most likely to say just opt in as a lead, who are those people that are even more likely to do a complete registration. The more data you give to Facebook, the more money you spend with them, the better they get at picking out the right type of people to drive towards your ads. So guys, that's a total funnel. Like I was mentioning, the best way to get there is to do, I'd say at least $1,000 of ad spend per month. If you want even more results, then you can spend even more, $1,500 a month in ads. It actually sounds like a lot, it sounds overwhelming, but it's really about $30 to $50 a day. When you're looking for clients, think about that. If you got one client, you got $3,000. If you have a $3,000 coaching package, that means that you're gonna double the money that you spent in ads, or triple if you're just spending $1,000. So I had a prior life coach who's still working with me now, and she was able to make $45K from 1 month of this, okay? And she was booking calls at approximately $25 a call. So here's the thing, depending on the industry, depending on the niche, you will find that your book a call rate varies. So in my agency, we're able to routinely get calls booked at between $15 to $30 per booking for getting people on the phone. If you're doing lead generation for other types of people, say you're a lawyer or a real estate agent, to get those people on the phone can be more expensive, maybe $50, $60, up to $100 is what we consider normal. That being said, I work exclusively with coaches in my agency, and we're routinely able to get them book a calls at $15 or even less. For my agency funnel, we're able to get book a calls for $13 a booking. Okay, so in part, it's because of the ads, right? So you want to make sure that you've got ads that are performing well. That's a whole other lesson, but definitely there's some tutorials that you could consult for Facebook ads, but essentially it's relatively simple. You put the ad to the first page, second page, third page, you've got your complete registration, and that's your total funnel essentially. I hope that this is helpful for you. I feel like I was just all over the place, but I'm hoping that it was more definitely helpful for you. So like I promised you, the blueprint will be in your mailbox in case you kind of need more clarity. You can always reach out to me, and if you need an expert ads person who has proven results and proven case studies, you should come over to my side of the universe. You can book a call with me, with my agency, and I will, hop on the phone with you and we'll talk some numbers. We'll talk about, what the revenue is that you want to make. We'll talk about how much you want to spend in ads, and we'll see if you're ready to get started with a full campaign strategy and something that's going to get you making serious bank so you can quit your full-time job or take that vacation that you really want to take. So whatever those amazing things are that you want to do with your life, we can get the wheels in motion so that you can get this funnel working for you 24/7. Well, we're at 25 minutes now, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any feedback, I would love for you to reach out to me, and I hope you wish you much success. Thank you so much for joining me here in my home in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Okay, bye guys.